What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. We're going to focus in on Ryan Kesler being out, according to NHL.com. This week, Vancouver Canucks head coach John Tortorella, a couple of weeks. Has Ryan Kesler played his last game in a Vancouver Canucks uniform? Well, Vancouver is a point behind Dallas for the second wild card berth in the Western Conference, and Ryan Kesler is a key part of any success they've had this year, despite the trade rumors. Obviously, he wants out of Vancouver. Gillis was non-committal on Tortorella's status beyond this season, which is never a good sign. Talk about the kiss of death with this guy. And you're looking at this team really is. I'd put the dysfunction. You can go all the way back to 2011 Stanley Cup Finals. You can go back to June where they traded Corey Schneider. They got a top 10 pick back for Schneider, but now they had Schneider and Luongo. Now they have none. You can really just put your finger on anything that leads to where Vancouver's gone themselves, and it's going to be a lengthy rebuild. It would be better if they had a quality number one goaltender. I mean, why did they make the Roberto Luongo trade at the draft? And then they probably whatever happens, they get a draft pick last year. They don't get Bo Horvat. Which, I mean, all due respect to Bo Horvat, he's not the life or death of your franchise. Corey Schneider is a more valuable asset. You can get the assets you got back for Luongo. Maybe, you flip Markstrom, because then you would add Markstrom, Lack, and Schneider, who made the deal earlier. Maybe you flip one of those guys and get assets back, and, further, the rebuilding process doesn't have to be as painful or as long. They made the right move re-signing the Sedins, but, do they want to stick around for a rebuild? And again, Ryan Kesler is out. At least, I'd say till April 1st. I can look up Vancouver's schedule, but I don't see him returning before the 1st of April. And by then, it could be too late for Vancouver. You get 10 days left in the season after that, and what's the point of even making a late season push at that point if you're that far out of it? Because again, this team is just it's done. The success they've had this year. I mean, even Kesler, he's only got 40 points on the season. He's a minus 13. He's not getting it done consistently. I saw the hit that put him out. I think it was just incidental contact. I mean, I think you just look at what the success Vancouver's been able to have, and I think the well is just run dry for them, and that's just what happens, And we'll see what the long-term solution is for the Vancouver Canucks, but I think it's going to be wholesale changes this offseason. Again, I think if they're out of it come April 1st, why bring Kesler back and run the risk of him getting hurt again and completely decreasing his trade value? In terms of whole-scale sweep through the organization, I think Kessler's gone. John Tortorella is gone. I think Gillis will be gone as well. And then you look at from June 2013 to June 2014, they'll have lost Schneider, Luongo, obviously Alain Vigneault, John Tortorella, Kesler, and Mike Hills. I mean, there's 6 pretty good factors in an organization, one way or the other. It's like dysfunction one-on-one. We'll see what happens with Edler. Could be on his way out as well. Again, I think this will be a new Vancouver Canucks team come September, come training camp, and I think the rebuild will be kind of long, kind of arduous, So we'll see what happens. But again, I think we've seen, unless Vancouver stays in it somehow and is, holding on to that last wild card berth come April 1st, whenever Kesler comes back, I think we've seen the last of a Vancouver Canucks uniform, because I think he will be traded on draft day, and if Vancouver's out of it, there is no risk. There's no point risking bringing him back to completely shoot down his trade value. Anyway, that's all in this episode of the Power Play with CJ on Ryan Kesler possibly playing his last game as a Vancouver Canuck. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the season and beyond. Later, guys.